This small town in Quebec has found itself caught in the middle of the political war between Canada and the US. And this library has become the latest symbol of that tension and resistance.
It feels uncomfortable. The library still feels normal. Once you're inside the library, it still feels like it always has, but it's getting more tense.
The Haskell Free Library and Opera House has been here since 1904 and has always been accessible to people on both sides of the border. But soon, Canadians who want to check out a book will need a library card and a passport.
If it wasn't for the border itself, you wouldn't know the difference between Stanstead and Derby Line.
In January, the U.S. upped the ante. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Christine Nome, visited the library and referred to Canada in front of staff from both sides of the border, the 51st state. Now, the U.S. announced it's ending the casual interpretation of the border that runs through the library.
It just feels like a family being torn apart, you know? I don't know, like Canada feels like an extension of my home. I grew up along the border.
Up until now, people were able to use this sidewalk to cross into Vermont, then walk over to the front door to access the library. There is no front door on the Canadian side. U.S. authorities say illicit cross-border activity was taking place in the library unchecked. It cited more than 100 apprehensions last year involving the library directly. Canadians will now need to show their library membership to cross the sidewalk and enter the front door. But as of October 1st, everyone will need to make a detour to the nearby official border crossing.
I support Canada's right to enter that library. Canada's been doing that for years. What the U.S. is doing is wrong. I'm embarrassed about how the United States of America is treating Canada.
I think he's picking on the wrong country because we're not going to back down to a big bully that doesn't know anything.
The library says majority of its users are acting in good faith. The library and the community are taking matters into their own hands. They started a fundraiser to build a door, a ramp, and a sidewalk on the Canadian side. That doesn't come cheap. They estimate around $100,000. Once that's in place, Canadians will be able to access these stacks again. Once you are in the library, it's all business as usual.